What's up, people? One Up Punch here. So I picked up this game called Trash the Titans about a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to show this off because, one, it's a game for under $9 on Steam, full asking price, and I bought it for about half price, which is about $5, and I put about maybe 4 or 5 hours into it. There's 3 difficulty modes. You have mild, medium, and spicy, and essentially the game was made by a developer called Thayer and Back Again. They also released the game May 29th, 2024 into early access. So whatever they do to it is going to subject to change and, be able to have different other things added to it later. Going to the character selection screen, they have about 6 total characters you can play in the early access version as far as I'm aware of, but I have a total of about 5 right now. You have the Possum, which is a ranger class, and this person has to deal with range, shooting with a bow and arrow, and being able to place down traps. You have Raccoon, which is a rogue skilled assassin, and he's able to use like a backstab ability that does instant damage and will kill a lot of the smaller units. You have Badger, which is a barbarian that can charge in using cannonball and charge and hits people with a shovel, which I do like a lot because they have stone skin, which also gives them damage reduction and, missing health. It's kind of like a shield. You have Skunk, which is a wizard that does different types of magic like lightning and fire. And then you have House Cat, which is a necromancer. And when you kill something that has witch fire on it, they'll give you a chance to bring back a minion. So I bring the House Cat, the Rogue, the Badger, and the Skunk instead of the Possum. And this is basically the team that I've been using quite a bit of. When you get into these matches, it's like an RPG kind of Final Fantasy Tactics in a way. You have these trash cans and a dumpster. You have to protect all the trash from within the area. If any of them are lost, or you start going all the way down to the wire of the trash above the screen, then it's over. This is the fail state. But you could also use the trash to revive your dead allies. So if the Badger or the Skunk were to die, you can go over there with another character that's alive, press revive, and he comes back for like a percentage amount of health. You have different other moves. You have move, attack, use ability, and end turn. And then on the side of their icon where it shows their health and their stamina or magic, they have their own skills. So you could press that on the little quick bar in order to use it rather than going into usability and then play it or use the ability after that. You could also do hotkeys, which is W, Q, E, and R. And then they have their instances or when their turn happens. When they pick up this piece of like food, you'll get a boon. And that's for all your characters. You'll also go and play this mini game that's like Tetris, and that will give you also more boons on top of it, and that will be for everybody across the board. The skills that you have for your Necromancer, if your minions have enough mana, you could use Witchfire with them too, or if he has a different spell, he could also use that. Skunk doesn't have any real minions, but he does have a lot of really powerful spells, and when you're done beating the specific enemies, or you're done with the one little like arena style fight, then you're able to go pick up your boon, and then this is the mini game I was talking about earlier with Tetris. There's 4 different categorization of stuff that you can get. You have attack, you have movement speed, you have health, and you have mana or MP. And this is all gained through doing this Tetris block stuff. For example, if you have the Tetris block like the L shape, you can go to 2 people. But if you go to the one, it'll highlight with a red box or green box, whatever color you're trying to put down for the Tetris block. And then that'll give you boons and buffs for the next fight later on. And it's very useful and fun, actually, because not to mention do I get to evenly put out, okay, here's a bunch of stuff for you guys, here's some more spells, here's some more health, here's some more attack damage, but it's going to get tougher and progressively harder when you go to the other levels. Earlier I showed off 2 different levels that I unlocked. The first, which was the first act, and then the second, which was the sewers. And that was just after beating the boss, which is some really big rat that actually gets shields from this like portal that would be from devils coming out. And these are like weird rat devils that are summoned from cultists. And there's different enemies you fight too. You have normal rats, you have cultist rats, you have big boss rats, like Trevor, for example. And you could turn him into an actual minion when you use Witchfire on the House Cat. And then the House Cat will be able to summon more minions to do detonation ability, which is sacrifice a minion in order to do damage around them in a big area. And then you have another spell I like about Skunk is called Singularity. And he fires a black hole in the middle of nowhere. everybody gets sucked in, and then it's easier to do more AoE damage in a small area and nuke everybody immediately. But I like the way that this is played simply because it reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics. And I played that game on the old PlayStation 1, and then I played it on the PSP, then Nintendo stuff, and then even started playing it on the console games. Because, I mean, I always liked those games. I mean, it's kind of the whole reason why I got into playing Disgaea. And I think it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 was Valvatores. But I found them games to be funny and fun as hell, simply because of the story that they had and the fact that you were a bunch of chaotic creatures in hell trying to pay off your debt. That being said, with Trash the Titans, you're a bunch of animals doing different things, you're different classes with different skills and set traits, and then you level up by eating trash. I found this game to be pretty funny, so for about $9 or $10, do I recommend it? Absolutely. I think it's a fun little game if you want to try something with maybe tactics-based RPG-style mechanics, getting booned by simply eating dog food, and then being able to strengthen yourself by eating trash from a dumpster, or even gather different materials for being able to play a little mini Tetris game. I would say highly recommend people checking this out. That being said, this game is early access, so there's going to be subject to changes, there's going to be different things added later, there's going to be some bugs and stuff. So when you play early access games, let me reiterate and say this, there's going to be bugs, crashes, and slowdowns when you try to play it. So just be aware that it's going to happen, but it's in development and the developers are working on it, okay? Anyway, I've been One Nut Punch, and this has been Trash the Titans video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later in the next one.